Hello and welcome to Way or No Way. I'm still working on a catchphrase because I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this. Hopefully for a while. Last time I reviewed Superman Shazam First Thunder Issue 1. Today, I continue with Superman Shazam First Thunder Issue 2. But before we do, a quick recap.
Dr. Savannah is trying to kill newcomer superhero Captain Marvel. Why? Because he's a mad scientist / evil industrialist who commits crimes like murder and insurance fraud, and the plot says so. Superman fought a group of magical cultists. Captain Marvel's transformation came 5 pages after his identity was spoiled. Billy Batson's an orphan runaway, and I apparently forgot to shave that day.
So let's take a look at issue 2 and see how the story's progressing so far.
We open the comic with Dr. Savannah traveling to Metropolis to meet Lex Luthor 1 week ago. Keep that little bit of information in mind. I'll explain why in a couple of minutes. Savannah's lackey asks if it's wise.
Wise? No, it's really stupid. I'm known for my stupidity.
Yeah, and I'm known for my kick-ass martial arts moves and flexibility under duress.
This is one of the last damn meetings I ever wanted to take, so pardon me if I don't break out into song.
As much as I am a fan of Man of Constant Sorrow, I'd be happy if you didn't either. Lex Luthor, mogul, billionaire, founder and CEO of LexCorp.
He's also a majority shareholder of Nair.
The two mad scientists / evil industrialists exchange hateful banter for a bit before getting down to business. Luthor tells Savannah he's lending out a man called Spec.
Why is he called Spec?
What do you care? That's what he's called. Then we see the aforementioned Spec following Captain Marvel around by jumping great distances and hiding. He's one of those special people.
Special? Is he a slow reader? Needs speech therapy? What's the special part?
Really, Judd? Expect a letter from Sarah Palin, pal.
When Savannah points out that Spec apparently hasn't tailed Superman or killed him, Lex lets him know that he's there to discuss Savannah's problems with a flying caped strongman. After talking price ranges and what Savannah says he'll do if Luthor screws him over, we get a scene of Spec following Captain Marvel to an alley where he witnesses Cap turning back into Billy. Next scene, we go to where we left off in the first issue. Today, Fawcett City. Captain Marvel attempts to thwart a robbery and has a visitor from Metropolis.
Now, remember when I said to keep in mind in the beginning that the Luthor-Savannah scene took place 1 week ago? In issue 1, where Savannah first decided to call Luthor for help, the book immediately transitioned over to Billy staking out the museum. There was no text box indicating that any time had passed between Savannah and Billy at the museum and meeting Superman. It appears to be happening simultaneously, and we're given no indication otherwise. But in this issue, we have a caption box that the meeting between Luthor and Savannah happened a week ago. Now, think about it for a second. Savannah is calling Lex Luthor for a meeting that already took place. Wow.
Also, the caption box when Superman met the cultists said it was last night. But when Captain Marvel fought the robots, it appears to be the next day. But in the scene afterwards, the newspaper, which usually takes a day to print out news stories, had chronicled both Cap's fight and the Metropolis Museum robbery, which means those two events happened within the same 24-hour period. But in terms of scene order, they're completely backwards. No indication is given that the robot fight took place earlier, or any other time, because there was no caption box letting us know. We're supposed to already know this already, or completely ignore petty things like time and space.
Keep in mind, it's also the same night that Savannah decided to call Luthor, as well as Billy staking out the museum. In the scene where Savannah decides to call Luthor, the newspaper that his assistant put on Savannah's desk is the exact same newspaper, which locks the time in place. Let me try and break this down for you. Savannah called a meeting with Luthor that happened 1 week ago in response to Captain Marvel defeating his robots yesterday. Oh my God! Normally some folks wouldn't pick up on this, but this is a huge plot. Whew. Whew. Oh, Jesus. People, I think we might have broken the space-time continuum. And it's only the second episode.
Anyway, back to the future. Plot. Because Winnick wants to make sure that we get he's really a kid underneath it all, Captain Marvel starts to geek out upon meeting Superman. Superman! I cannot believe this! I have been... Wow! It's truly an honor, and holy moly, you're Superman!
Hello? Monsters? Trash museum? Bad guys making off with the loot? Bueller?
Slimer's bigger, meaner, older brothers smash out of the museum, and the fight scene begins. Superman gets caught in a crystallization beam, I guess, and Cap is forced to help him out. Back inside the museum, the cultists are busy taking their prizes. When one of them comments that Superman's out there too, Bearded Leader says, "Oh, damn it to hell. Are we the only ones breaking the law tonight?"
Yep, plot says so.
He makes a phone call asking someone if they have him. Cut to a scene elsewhere, we're never told where, and we see a group of cultists, dressed normally, standing over a man called Timothy Barnes, who's bound and gagged. At the end of this scene, we learn that Bearded Leader tells his hench cultists to inform Savannah that they have everything they need. Turns out Savannah's behind the heist. Why? We'll find out later in the issue. Back to the fight. Captain Marvel manages to free Superman of the crystallization beam's effect by punching the crystal off him.
Yeah, because heat vision totally doesn't work on magic.
Also, why is Cap sticking out his tongue? We get it, Winnick. He's a kid. Step away from the anvil and put down the hammer. Superman freezes one of the monsters with his freeze breath. Captain Marvel blocks a crystallization beam, which seems to have no effect on him. Gee, I wonder why. Captain Marvel hurls the other monster in the air. Superman freezes it, sending it crashing down onto the other monster sickle, ending the fight. When Superman compliments Captain Marvel on being able to shrug off the crystallization beam, Cap replies that it was a crystalline force beam. That's how malice trolls, i.e. the Slimers, excrete wastes. What? What?!
You mean to tell me that that stuff wasn't just a deadly attack, but their biological method of taking a dump? So one of them took a dump on Superman, covering him in troll poo? And then you, Captain Marvel, knowing what that attack is, lets one of them crap all over you? What the hucking fell, man?
Oh, it gets better. Instead of reacting to the fact that he was basically told he was covered and frozen in troll, Superman instead opts to start getting to know Captain Marvel. Oh God, I still can't get over that. You know what? Next scene! We cut to Mount Everest, where Superman and Captain Marvel are metaphorically whipping it out for each other by talking about their powers. Basically one telling the other they wouldn't mind trading powers, Captain Marvel especially. Superman begins to talk about the time he accidentally flew into space, which leads him to talk about his dad. He pauses for a bit, causing him to remark that he tries to keep his civilian life separate from his costume life. Captain Marvel thinks that stinks, but the theme's already been established, and hence Captain Marvel now has to learn a lesson in keeping his secret identity.
Yeah, because being able to go from an adult to a kid at will with a bolt of lightning isn't the least bit inconvenient or troubling for a homeless kid who practically has no life. Just saying.
We cut to sunrise the next morning. We think, but we're not really sure at this point. Savannah gets Mr. Heath, aka Bearded Leader's message. Savannah asks when they're going to take care of his Bruce Gordon problem. His assistant tells him to look out the window because it's happening right now.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear.
Cut to a cavern where the cultists, called the Temple of Baghdad, have Timothy Barnes in the center of a large pentagram chanting in a ritual. Bearded Leader decides to chant off the names of the Holy crap! Why are they showing his armpit hairs? Anyway, Bearded Leader decides to call out specific demons which spells a name which he orders Timothy to say. A massive explosion occurs, which blows apart a house or the museum. The book never established exactly where they were. Outside the solar center, Bruce Gordon notices that it's dark outside and begins to change. Mother of God.
No, it's not about God at all.
Apparently it's just an elaborate plot to destroy a building and collect insurance money. So really it's all about insurance fraud.
Meanwhile, back at Bromance Mountain, Superman asks Captain Marvel how he got his start. Before he can do so, Superman hears of the trouble brewing in Fawcett City and tells Cap that they need to get back there immediately. And the last page of the comic shows the emergence of not only Sabak, but Eclipso, who apparently can make men's ears grow longer.
This comic sucks. The art is nice, but the fight scene is disgusting in context, and the timeline is several different ways of effed up. Yes, several. Please don't make me go over them again. Next time, I'll get into issue 3. Really not looking forward to it. Not at all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go. Damn this butthole!